Hey everyone, it is Clint. I spent a little bit more time working on the campaign for Fatal, which is launching soon. Don't worry if you backed Downcast 2. Things are in motion. I paid the printer. We're ready to go almost. I just need the books. So they're shipping those pretty soon, and I'll ship those out to you. So that'll be good. So sign up if you haven't. All right, so here's the thing. I looked on Twitter, and Nick Pitara, he's the artist. I know of him best from doing the Manhattan Project, but I know he's done several other things. I think he's working for Marvel right now, and I saw that he was saying a whole bunch of things that really resonated with me. One, because he is a professional working in comics. He's as in the industry as you can get, but he also has an interesting perspective because he's really tied to creator-owned stuff and, doing his own thing. He's an artist and, works hard. Okay. So from that perspective, he's, that's where he's coming from. So he seems to be really upset over the Tom King virtue signaling moment where he tried to basically destroy Jay Lee's career. Not basically, he did try to destroy Jay Lee's career by going to Jay Lee's employer publicly and saying that Jay Lee is associated with a hate group, in Tom King's own words, which that is just not even true anyway. So, all around, it's a bunch of nonsense. So Nick Pitara has been just saying some awesome things. So I'm going to go through some of these. He says the comic industry goes out of its way to devalue comic artists and over promote writers. I believe this is why some writers have the time to sit around and blow so much smoke out their own butts that they actually believe it's okay to smear beloved minority freelancers like Jay Lee. I love how he takes like a general problem and then he brings it right home to a very specific problem. He's right though. There does seem to be a trend. I mean, there are definitely some comic book artists that spend too much time on Twitter and they are, just really full on have delved into ideology. But I think he's right. There are a lot of artists out there that are just trying to put their head down and work. And so when I see Nick Pitara and some of the great things that he said, I think, is he with me? Is he one of us? Is he with me? And then I had to sort of stop and shake that thought out of my head, because he represents, I want to see where he says it here. Right here. He represents a normal person working in the industry. He knows enough to know what's going on. And he's just giving an opinion. I do believe there's a silent majority of people out there that know this is ridiculous. He said, I don't think I should get credit for exposing common sense. That is so true. It's common sense. It actually takes training and, I'm doing air quotes here, educating from ideologues for you to understand this whole pecking order, right, that exists right now, not just in comics, it's elsewhere, but it's just really taken hold in comics. Common sense says you can't show me one thing and what's the saying? I don't know. You don't tell me the sky is green. Anything else, anything other than blue, I can see clearly that it's blue. But through their ideology, they're justifying why something is what it is not. So if you think about it, and this is what Nick Pitara was shoving right in their faces, he says he's using basically the whole minority Asian hierarchy ladder against them, which I think is really clever. And I don't think he even said here, he doesn't actually believe any of this stuff. He's just using their stupid ideology to show them how hypocritical they all are. So it says, and he's clearly attempting to line Jay, an Asian minority, with a hate group label in his tweet, while confidently repeating things he said in a private DC correspondence to the mass public in order to smear Jay and throw his editors at DC Comics under the bus. Unprofessional. And when people came at him to say, like, why are you using the labels? I'm blocked apparently from most of these things. His response was, "I'm using labels to show how far this has gotten." John, I don't know which, is this John Layman? It is. He blocked me. Did he unblock me? No, I've got to check this now. He blocked me. I'm blocked. Okay. They actually worked together on a book. So there's that. Okay, he said, "I'm using labels to show how far this has gotten, John. That some in their virtue would be okay with a white cis man on Batman casually and unjustly smearing a beloved Asian minority artist. What's a 100 issue Batman royalty worth? Jay did a Kickstarter variant. Punching down much?" So many great things here. You really, and this is what it comes down to. They claim that there's this social hierarchy that exists based on race, gender, all these kinds of things. That is a lie. They have demonstrated that it is a lie. The hierarchy really works this way. If you agree with their ideology, then you're basically written a blank check. So Tom King agrees with their ideology, at least very publicly he does. That's good enough. He wants everyone to believe he does. So I'll take him for his word that he does believe this crap. Okay, Tom King believes it, and therefore he now has the right to marginalize an Asian creator, someone who should be above him on their supposed social hierarchy. He also has the right to interfere with his job, all that kind of stuff, and he's going to call him part of a hate group. Do you see how backward all of this is? This is maddening. So the reason, when I started bringing this all back, the reason why immediately I start thinking, is Nick Pitara one of us? It's because built in to all of this, there's a bandwagon fallacy. And it kind of shocks me that this goes on over and over and over again with, this social justice ideology, is they'll tell you that you're on the wrong side of history. They'll tell you that everybody agrees with them. They're going to try and ostracize you and make you feel like you don't belong there, and they've been effective at it. Honestly, getting into comics, I didn't think that there were many people that thought like I did. Honestly, the reality is I think there are actually more, if we're going by the numbers. It's just that most common sense people aren't out there trying to push their way of thinking. They're cool to live and let live. If you're an ideologue, you're going to use this bandwagon fallacy and tell people that they're a hate group. You're basically making a mass group of people feel like they don't belong, that there are so few of them, they're just a minor little, footnote in the industry. And so they deserve to be pushed out. This is how they convince so many people to quietly go along, because they believe that they are alone. This is why I'm always looking, oh, does this person agree with me? Is this person with me? It doesn't matter. They're with common sense. That's a win. The more people, especially working in comics, that can actually say something or disagree and show, even the mildest of protest against this nonsense, I think it helps us all understand that they don't have history on their side. This is why it's part of the strategy for them to tear down statues and things like that. If they can tear them down, it feels like you're not even protected in death. So you can always be destroyed. You can always be canceled at any point in time. So you better be careful. Okay. It's not only mean, it's evil, frankly. So bandwagon fallacy, this happens all the time. Yeah. You're appealing to the popularity or the fact that many people do something as an attempted form of validation. That's exactly what's going on here. So kudos to people like Nick Pitara, kudos to other comic book creators out there that, you might watch my channel, and I appreciate you, but you don't really want to get involved in this kind of stuff because you're working, you want to be, neutral. I get that. That's cool. Do you, that's cool. But I have to say, it is nice to see other comic professionals, just, being heard a little bit, just a little bit, so that we know that there are other sane people out there in the world, I really appreciate it. It is encouraging. So I don't know what to say, man. Just really cool stuff. It's encouraging, and I do think that this whole uh, Tom King thing is actually turning into a turning point in comics. People are getting tired of all the cancellations that are going on. It's old, it's tired, and I think we have to agree to allow everybody work in this industry and have differing opinions and disagree and so on and so on. So thanks for watching the video. Appreciate you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps my channel out. And yeah, more great comics to come. Thanks. Appreciate you. And I'll see you next time.